How can you support a more efficient renewable energy transition? This is the question of this Gen E podcast for 2024. As you know, we just had Gen E in Catania in Italy, where the finalists of over 400,000 young people came there to showcase their innovation. Many of those were related to the transition to the transition in sustainability, renewable energy. We saw so much from the young people. But here we are with the experts. Online awards this year, a great partner, Schneider Electric, and the experts that we have today with us is Gilles Vermot Desroches, the Chief Corporate Citizenship Officer at Schneider Electric. Hello, Gilles. How are
Hello.
you?
Fine on you.
Very, very nice. Thank you so much for taking the time and speak to our audience of young people across Europe. We have a great partnership between JA Europe and Schneider Electric and the Schneider Electric Foundation, in which we are empowering young people across Europe. But I wanted to ask, first of all, Gilles, a question. He is today Chief Corporate Citizenship Officer. But was this your dream job? What was your dream job when you were young? So put yourself into the shoes of the young people that are out there that are 16, 18 years old.
When I was young, nobody was speaking about sustainability, sustainable development, limit of the planet. It was before 87. And we were in a vision that everybody can increase the growth. We can use everything from the planet and to transform the world in the manner that we had in mind after the years after the Second War. And just after that, we understand the link between planet and society, that we have a better vision about what's happened in many different places. And the vision of the development where we are, we have to manage differently to be more efficient, to be sufficient, and to give to our children a good planet for their own future.
And this is a priority for Schneider Electric, I imagine, and for your role.
Yes, I was in charge of sustainability in Schneider Electric for 25 years, an amazing job, because at the beginning of this century to now, many different topics, each time with the same goal, it's to increase the impact for Schneider Electric. Now, I prefer the word citizenship. Why? It's because to provide the progress, it's a question of well balance between planet and society. Today, when we are speaking about sustainability, many of the answers are only about carbon and climate. The question of climate is a question of the century, and we have to take care of that. But just to accelerate the transition, we have to take care to biodiversity, and more of that, we have to take care to have a just transition. If we don't embark the people, if we are thinking only about innovation, technology, never we will organize the transition. With the word citizenship, we have a clear vision about the commitment of the company to have an impact, and the fact that to progress together, we have to mix planet and people and to embark each in the manner to consume differently, to live differently. You know, the purpose of Schneider Electric is to create impact by empowering all, to make the most of all energy and resources, bringing progress on sustainability for all. One word is very important in the purpose of Schneider Electric, is to make the most of all energy and all resources. When you have the chance to use resources and energy, it's for everybody, not only for you. And it's why, with this word citizenship, we try to have a new mindset to contribute to the progress.
And congratulations for that, because indeed, it's not only about technology, it's not only about big things and big changes, but changes that goes once at a time. And it starts from individuals, right? So how can individual assess their current energy consumption, for instance, and identify opportunities to switch to more renewable sources? Because at the end of the day, it comes up to the individual choices that we make every day as well.
Yes, the world of today is very different than the world 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 years ago, especially for renewable. I remember very well between 2000 and 2010, when we were speaking about renewables, the people said, oh, it's very expensive. It's only for few people. It's not possible to add the renewable energy on the grid. Today, everything is possible and it's cheaper. We have to continue, we have to have a regulation, to have incentive from the public sector. But just in terms of price, it's a complete revolution. We reduce by 10 times the price of the solar panel between 2010 and 2020. Just, it's a total different vision. For Schneider Electric, you know this context, it's very interesting to change, to adapt the strategy of the company by innovation and a strategic positioning. The big goal of Schneider Electric is to organize a shift to electricity, because it's not possible to continue to have a carbon-based energy. And with the shift to electricity, we have to organize a shift to digital, because the answer is not only electricity, is not only renewable energy on the grid, it's how do we manage by the digital a new manner to consume, a big dialogue between offer and demand, because a large part of the efficiency and the sufficiency is linked to this dialogue. We know that renewable energy, solar, wind, are very often disruptive energy. We consider that we produce in another time than when we consume. But just with this dialogue by the numeric, with the storage, with many different things, we can have now a grid in a circular mode. The
And
last
Gilles,
one, yes.
on this, so we talked about the citizens from the consumer side. We talk about what large company like Schneider Electric is doing it, right? In the transition, also, as you say, in the digital, moving out from fuel-based source of energy. There is someone else in the equations, and those are the young entrepreneurs, right? Those one would create innovations and stuff. What do you think? What are the opportunities also for entrepreneurs to start creating in this space and to switch also to renewable sources?
Yes, many opportunities for the young entrepreneur. 2 or 3 things to express that. I come back to the last comment. The last century was a linear mode century. The energy, the industry in general, was in a linear mode. Someone was to produce, some other to transport, to transform,
Right.
to sell, to use, and after that, the waste.
Yeah.
We are now in a complete new mode for many different things. The manner to live, for example, in the past, the manner to live, when you were young, it was time for training, to learn, and after that, a job, only one job in one company, and after that, the retirement, a linear mode. Now we would like to learn during all the life. We would like to have time during this life to do something else, for example, a commitment, another thing, to change the company, to have a new job, to think differently. And at the end, you would like to continue to be contributive. It's something that I express, it's a circular mode. This circular mode, it's very often in the center of very new business model. It's true for food, it's true for training, for many different things. But it's true for energy too. In the past, we had only one solution. Somewhere, a big watermelon to produce electricity far from the city, transportation, high voltage, medium voltage, low voltage, and after that to consume. Today, in electricity, in energy too, we are in a circular mode. You can be linked to the grid. You can produce our own energy or a part of this energy. We have a new of innovation. I know very well 2 or 3 young people who are in Africa and in Asia to promote and to have a new villages with mesh grid. Mesh grid, it's a question of collaboration. You have your own installation, you produce your own energy, but if you don't have enough, you can ask your neighbor, you can be in the community, and at the end, we pay between the people. Just first thing, we are in a circular mode where the best way is to be local. We need a lot of new solutions for that. Technical, but business model too, and manner to be close to the consumers. First thing. Second thing, if we have an historical vision about innovation, the biggest innovation to change the life of the people are from people who are less than 30.
Less than 30.
Less than 30. We need everybody. We need to harness the power of all generations. But when we are speaking about innovation, it's very often when we are speaking about youth. We know the example of the GAFA, Microsoft, Twitter, Apple,
Sure. The
and the
typical
others, there were 20. But it's true for many. It's true for many other innovations. If we don't give the power of innovation to the youth, we have a sentence in France, it's Mozart that we kill. It's why youth have a specific role to play now. In this specific time, new energy landscape, new technology, especially with renewable, with digital, which is the thing close to the digital native people, less for me, more for the youth. When you have this reality, we can consider that the youth, the young adult, are today the best to have the better innovation, to implement new manner to consume, and certainly linked to renewable, linked to energy. What is very key to be in this new century. Big company like Schneider Electric can support them, and I will express how.
And we can
But we
definitely
need that.
see this. In fact, we see that as part of those opportunities that are offered by Schneider Electric. There is the Signature Award that actually JA Europe and Schneider Electric has organized this year, Genie 2024. And the winning team, Serkan, the Kite of Kites, aims to bring the most up-to-date technology to the field of green energy production by combining two fundamental and simple concepts, a wind turbine and a kite, into Serkan, a more accessible, cheap, and advanced system for green energy production. So this is definitely a great innovation came up from the young people, selected by the Schneider Electric team and the JA Europe team, supported as the Signature Award of the Energy Transition Award at Genie 2024 this year. But I mean, we obviously want to give more and more opportunities, but we also know that there are challenges for young people. Not everybody is doing it. When you're creating a startup today, right, from bureaucratic to access to credit to access to capital, what are the main challenges that you can see as a startup in this particular field is having, Gilles?
Yes, sure. When I express that, in my view, we need the youth to be more innovative. We need to support the youth to be entrepreneurs because we need all these new companies. Certainly, we have to support them. The big question for these people, it's the question of the level of investment. It's true that now for the new player, it's more difficult than for the others because we have the habit to finance, to invest in some other companies. That is the first topic. It's why in Schneider Electric, we have a CVC fund and some impact funds around the world, one for Europe, two in Africa, one for Asia, in order to support and finance promising startups, especially in renewable energy sector, especially for rural area and for productive energy for agriculture. Agriculture is a big topic for this century because we know that we need food everywhere. And today, in the developing country, we lose 1/3 of the food that we have because it's difficult to keep. We need to be active on this manner. It's why we have
More efficient.
these two elements to support the youth: our CVC fund and our impact investment fund. The second thing, when you lead a startup, very often you have the solution, but you have many other questions: financing, human resources, legal aspect. How do you know the regulation and so on? It's why the relationship with other people from all the generation are very interesting to be able to be more efficient and quickly. Not with a lot of experience, where you lose a lot of time and sometimes with a lot of mistakes. And last but not least, the question of the business model, the question of how do we organize a relationship in the complete value chain are something that we can support with the experience of many people in our companies. It's why we are together on the same boat, not the same people, not the same spirit, not the same age, but certainly because each of us, and especially the youth, play a very big role when we are speaking about new technology, and especially when we are speaking about digital. We need these people, we need to support entrepreneurship, and we need very important new innovation to live differently than in the past, in this new century, which is the century of the economy of the functionality. That is very new for many people. The fact that we use the things without to be the owner of the things, it's not something for my generation. It's something for the new generation.
It was used
circular economy.
Yeah. And Gilles, we're going towards the end of this podcast, but you touched upon something so important to us, which is this intergenerational approach also on how the young people can receive a lot of advice and mentor. And this is at the core of Gen E. The E of Gen E stands for the generation of Europeans who believe in the importance of entrepreneurship, education, and the environment, definitely. So no matter which generation are you, you are part of Generation E. Thank you so much to Schneider Electric, and thank you so much to Gilles Vermot. But before we close, the last advice that Gilles would like to give to the young people in 30 seconds. What is the advice you would like to give to young people today?
In my own life, during these 40 last years, each time I try to have 1, 2, or 3, but perhaps more, one mentor. Because it's very important to be able to discuss with someone when we have together trust, able to challenge, and to know the different things, far from what I know. And this discussion, each time, it's a place to progress. It's not possible to innovate alone when you are in your room without a good manner to open the window, to discuss to someone else, and trust is very important for that. Just is not totally an advice, but I think to have a mentor, perhaps 2 or 3 in different things, in something very entrepreneur. It's something very useful when you would like to be an entrepreneur. Very often, an entrepreneur is someone who is isolate because just he is not in a company. He has his own program. He would like to push that, but we can have our own program, but we need to be in a network. And in this network, to trust one or one other, certainly these things is the most important. The second thing is to be close to the trend where we are now. We have to speak about not only net zero emission world, but a new regenerative economy. Not only about technology innovation, but just transition. Not only about new product, new solution, but new manner with functionality, with circular mode and so on. Just all these new trends are key when you are entrepreneur, when you would like to have a startup, to be sure that you push the new trends, that you are against the place where we would like to be tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gilles. And I'm sure that the young people that you mentor, they are so lucky to have you as a mentor. And I'm sure that all the volunteers of Schneider Electric that collaborate also with JA are having such an important role in providing this guidance. So make sure that window is open, the fresh air comes in, and you as a young entrepreneur opens up also to the advice that you receive from people with a lot of experience. Having said that, we are closing this podcast that has been focusing on how can you support a more efficient renewable energy transition of JA Europe and Schneider Electric. If you like it, well, if you like it, you have to just click on the like and for sure share it in our channel on YouTube and Spotify. Thank you so much to Gilles Vermot Desroches. Thank you so much to Schneider Electric.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
Jay.